The option to use active duty forces in a law enforcement role should only be used as a matter of last resort and only in the most urgent and dire of situations. We are not in one of those situations now. I do not support invoking the Insurrection Act.
That is the former Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, back in, I believe it was June 3rd of 2020. There had been calls from Republicans to send the military into the streets to put down the George Floyd protesters, and he was against that. Not everyone in the administration was, though. And in fact, he reveals in an upcoming book, because what we do in American politics is we sit on incredibly vital information until we can personally profit from it. That it's coming out May 10th. The former President Trump said that when demonstrators were filling the streets around the White House following the death of George Floyd, he wanted to do something about it. What was it? Can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something. That's what he said to his Secretary of Defense. Now, again, as before, I don't want you to be confused. You might be thinking, wait, are you talking about like at the border? No, that was a different time that he said we should be shooting people. He specifically said shoot migrants in the legs to stop them from crossing the border. That was also by the time when he sent this real gem of a tweet. Now the press is trying to sell the fact that I wanted a moot stuffed with alligators and snakes with an electrified fence and sharp spikes on top at our southern border. I may be tough on border security, but not that tough. The press has gone crazy. Fake news. No, sources from inside the room say that he was pushing for those things. He wanted an alligator-filled moat to eat migrants as they crossed the border. And then if they got across the moat, then you could shoot them in the legs. He also wanted the George Floyd protesters to be shot in the legs, though. So just to be clear, he also wanted the wall to be painted black so it got really hot and it burned people as they tried to climb across. You can never underestimate how petty and cruel and nasty he is. But no, Francesca, he was telling the Secretary of Defense, why aren't we shooting these protesters?
And then they did. They executed a man who was accused of a crime. But Michael Reinhold, if you guys remember, up in Portland, I believe it was Portland. It might have been outside of Seattle, but he was shot and killed by US Marshals. Never saw a day in court. Okay. Great, they're just not gonna talk about that anymore. Yeah, no, cool. Targeted executions, no due process, tight. So yeah, that I think that, and to go to the story we were just talking about, this kind of violence, state violence, is absolutely what we got a glimpse of towards the end of the Trump administration there. Yes, the pandemic and the failure around that, but staring down the barrel of what really a neo-fascist militarized state could look like, I think was very galvanizing for folks to turn out to the polls, as unexciting as Biden was and has turned out to be in terms of delivering on anything. But let's not mistake where we've been and where we could so easily slide back to.
Yeah, I mean, we're like when we read like how many months people have been members or whatever, it's a reminder of how fast this time has gone by. We're gonna be into that presidential election so quickly, and it could result. And the Democrats are doing everything necessary to have it result in this guy or a savvier version of him being in power. And I'll remind you, by the way, we started off with Mark Esper, though, who's doing the book, and he said we're not doing the Insurrection Act. Remember, he didn't serve out the full rest of the term with Trump. He was fired after the 2020 election. And that scared a lot of people, thinking, well, it looks like he's clearing out the people who would be against him using the military. Then they did the coup. So just bear that in mind. Like he can identify the people who are true believers, team players, and who aren't. Super fast.
And his acting Secretary of Defense actually also didn't deploy the National Guard, because he was also worried that Trump would use them against against Capitol Police.
Exactly. The martial law, according to Marjorie Greene.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.